I want you guys to take a quick look at the net worth chart. Just a quick look, alright, just a glance. Just want you to take a glance. That's right, it's your boy Speed here, top of the net worth charts, 34 minutes into the game. That's with a Sven on my team, alright? That's one of the fastest farming heroes in the game with an IO following around, clicking overcharge. So without further ado, let me get into Dazzle. And yes, you guys might have seen some Dazzle videos, you might have seen some Dazzle builds, but honestly, I think the way I play Dazzle and the way I go about the build, I'm sure some other people go down a similar route or the same route, but I'm going to explain to you how you can become literally the top net worth hero. And keep in mind, I am 1-1 this game, and you might be like, Speed, I don't want to watch a video where you're AFK farming. I'm not. I have 23 assists, and I was actually extremely active this game. But I do have 406 CS, which is the most in the game by over 100. So yeah, without further ado, if you want to get absolutely huge from the offlane on a hero that, you know, has a very good laning stage as well, you should watch this video and let's get into it. Alright, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the Game League website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. Alright, so in the laning stage, you're going to start off with 1, 2 branches, 3 branches if, you know, you don't lose gold because your team isn't picking their heroes, whatever, you know, it is what it is. Typically, you're going to skill your heal at level 1. The reason why is when they pull creep aggro onto the range creep, you're going to nuke it with the heal, and the more units that you heal, the more damage it does, and it kills the range creep from like 2/3 health, and it makes laning extremely easy. From there, basically, you're going to save most of your mana to use heal. You can poison touch people if they like super overextend, but you don't have to put some major priority on it. I prefer saving the majority of my mana for my level 3 timing, where poison touch goes from 16 damage per second to 18. From there, I'm going to go windlace and boots. The reason why is the hero is very gankable if you don't have movement speed items, and so I like really maxing out movement speed. Also, movement speed helps you keep poison touch going on enemy heroes, and that's pretty nice as well. From there, I'm going to put pressure on the enemy carry with my level 2 poison touch. We even end up picking a kill here on the Spectre. Just a nice little movement here from the Shaker. I don't know where the enemy support went. I guess it's Furion, so he probably TP'd to kill another lane. But yeah, we get a nice kill on the Spectre, and we go mana boots. The reason why I go mana boots is, well, the hero has major mana issues. I would say the more common build on core Dazzle right now is treads. Honestly, I don't really like the treads very much. The reason why I don't like treads is it doesn't solve your mana problems. Sometimes what people do is they go mid with Dazzle, and so they have a bottle, and that kind of makes a bit more sense because you have something giving you a ton of mana. But when I'm playing Dazzle offlane, I don't go bottle, and people still go treads, but honestly, you will have mana problems even if you get a mana neutral item. Another thing that I like about mana boots is when you use your ulti Bad Juju, it reduces the cooldown of items by 3 seconds. That works on mana boots. It also works on Arcane Ring, and so I happen to get both of them. And so every time now I want to reduce the cooldown on my poison touch so I can farm camps, I will also buff my mana boots and my Arcane Ring. And this obviously will give me insane amounts of mana. And that's awesome because this hero, if you want to, can literally spam spells, right? The ulti lowers the cooldown, and then they're pretty high mana cost spells. Poison Touch is 135, at max it's 140. Poison Touch does not go up in mana, which is kind of nice, and you can spam the hell out of the spells, right? And so what I'm going to do is, literally, I click a lot of neutrals here. I went for a gank top, so I kind of left my lane. Typically, you just want to stay in your lane, guys. I was pretty, honestly, not happy to rotate, but I was afraid my team was going to tilt due to the lane they were having, right? The Bristleback was having, like, some insane game, and so I was trying to help out a bit. I was trying to, like, you know, damage control essentially a tad, but okay. Yeah, we're going to go our mana boots, and now the key thing is just getting to Ags. I'm not really looking to fight too much because, well, I didn't go treads, so I'm not that strong right now, and that's kind of the upside of treads. It sort of helps with this timing. But with max poison touch, you're still reasonably strong, and you won't have to spam clarities. Like with treads, you have to buy a ton of clarities, and that really just hurts your overall net worth. Like in the long run, it super hurts your net worth, and I'm going to be turning these mana boots into an item later on, so let me get there. But okay, yeah, until then, I'm just going to use Poison Touch on the camps, and what you want to do is just split up the damage, right? Don't hit the same creep over and over again. Push in the wave. If we get ganked, for instance, by a 6.3k net worth Bristleback, we will just head into the jungle and we will kill Ancients. You'll see I can just kind of kill it off by spreading the Poison Touch. It's very, very easy. From there, my game was kind of getting cucked by this Bristleback, but whatever. Best case scenario, you just farm up Ancients, and then when the enemy carry pushes in the lane, you farm the lane under your tier 1. This is the best case scenario. As you can see here, I kind of have to play like a bit of a wuss. I'm trying to like fight Bristleback for ancient creeps, which feels like trash, but it is what it is. Thank God they TP out, and from there, I really don't want to look for anything besides farm. You're not that strong at this point of the game. You're not playing a fighting hero, right? Yes, obviously you're not useless by any means, but you're not strong. So feel free to just hit a lot of neutrals, as you saw me TP top for a creep wave, and prioritize your Ags time. The Ags timing will carry the game, okay? You sacrifice a bit of early tempo for heavy mid-game tempo with your timing, right? As you'll see, Poison Touch, nuke. Then I'm gonna use my ulti. I only really wanna use my ulti when it's going to do 75 damage to myself. How it works is every time you use it, it does more damage to yourself. And so essentially, I just let it go back to 75, and then I'll use it when it's 75, right? As I nuke the wave. Sometimes I'll click it here just to lower my mana boots and arcane ring cooldown. I don't always, just depends if I need the spells or not. And now I have Ags. Shadow Wave can now bounce to enemies, right? When bouncing to enemies, they will take damage and heal nearby allies equal to 150% of the normal healing. So basically, if someone's near the enemy when you nuke them with Shadow Wave, they giga heal, right? And so if there's a bunch of enemies, like a creep wave, they like giga heal. And so what you can do to heal yourself as you run up to the camp like this is you just run up and Shadow Wave. And then the Shadow Wave hits, it bounces between both. You also auto attack everything you Shadow Wave. So when you Shadow Wave, you do 270 physical damage instantly, and you auto attack those camps as well. And so you can see, you can just burst camps. And this is where things begin to get crazy. Then I go Midas. Sometimes if the game is hard, I will buy a Force Staff because I need to fight, right? Otherwise the enemy will run us over, and that's something I'll keep in mind as I show up to a mid fight here. This is pre-trash, right? On your Ags, it was trashed by me. On your Ags, you do want to look to get active. Like, I'm happy I pushed in top here, and then I run mid, but I don't know, maybe I should be with my team. Hard to say, right? It's hard to say. It's a very fine balance, because you want to farm. Like, you do really want to farm. But you're pretty strong at this point, right? I can just spam the heal, and it does a ton of damage in these team fights. And you'll kind of see it play out here. I guess this is mostly Earthshaker kind of cooking with the Fisher. But yeah, we nuke down the Mirana there with Shadow Wave. Then we kite out. We catch him with the little Enchant Totem Fisher. That catches the Spectre. And we're just going to kind of kite this Bristleback here, use the Poison Touch to slow him down. And it's very significant. Every time you hit them, they get slowed by even more and more. Spamming the heal, you can see I double healed the Sven there. It worked on the Io as well, which healed him even more. We chased on the Bristle with the Poison Touch. Another heal comes up, we're going to drop that. And it's just healing. Right? And because you're healing so much, you can use the ulti, right? That's why the Ags is so good, part of it. Why it's so good, because the Ags allows you to actually use your ult, where with certain other item builds, you just can't afford to use it. As the fight ends though, look what I do, I'm just like, yeah, I'm out, see ya, I'm getting my Midas, boys. I don't want to be part of this game. I just farm up my Midas, nuke the camps, click ult, nuke the camp, get gone on. Oh, this shit was nuts. All right, look at this. This wasn't really me. I mean, I guess I clicked my spells pretty well here, but I get gone on, and I'm like, okay, I'm dead, unlucky. My team reloads in an Earthshaker, which is so clowny and fake. Look at this. I hit a Giga Shadow Wave. I click my ult to refresh the Poison Touch. I get that off. And then this guy hits a nasty, like, 8-man Echo. And they just all die. Literally, they all die. The Spectre tries to get away, but my bot's Batrider finds him. And they get team wiped for me, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, and from there, I'm not afraid to just jungle, because now every time I click my ult, it lowers my Midas cooldown. And so you just farm faster than almost any other hero, because you basically one-shot creep waves, you one-shot the majority of creep camps, and so you just wipe through the map. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just straight up unbelievable, because at level 15, you get Shadow Wave healing damage, and so now it does even more, right? This camp just gets eviscerated, camp dead, and this is 20 minutes into the game. It looks like I'm playing, you know, Animage. Really, it does, right? And now I go Force Staff. Reason why is your hero has mobility issues. You can go Force Staff or you can go BKB. This game, I didn't think it was that necessary to have BKB, so I'm like, all right, I'll go Force Staff, kind of greed it out a bit. And yeah, we're just shredding through the jungle. You can see my net worth is just going crazy. I'm keeping up with Sven, as I just literally wipe through every single camp onto the mid wave, clear the next mid wave. My team is taking Roshan in the meanwhile, whatever, that's their play. I would help out if I saw the enemies going, but I feel no need to force anything, because I just know I'm gonna outfarm their Bristle. I'm gonna outfarm the Bristle, I'm gonna outfarm the Spectre. I don't know how the Spectre is so poor. I guess that hero does farm slow, but he is poor. And we're gonna farm up an Octarine Core, and Octarine Core is unbelievable, and we'll get into this in a second. Most people don't go Octarine Core because I think they're like, oh, my ulti gives me CDR, I don't need Octarine. I don't get it, because it lowers the cooldown of the Shadow Wave, the Midas, Poison Touch, the Grave. It basically lets you farm even faster and just button mash in team fights. Like, your ulti lowers as well, which might seem bad, but you're healing yourself constantly, so you can get away with it. Like, now if team fight breaks out here, I should have saved my Sven. That was pretty bad. I wasn't like paying enough attention. It is what it is. We're gonna kite out here. This is where the Force Staff comes into play. And every time you click your ult, you lower the cooldown on the Force Staff, right there. I click my ult. I could have Force Staffed way earlier, I should have. But yeah, we lower the cooldown on the Force Staff. We're gonna Grave up our Batrider here, kite out. Once again, we wanna kite out, We're going to drop the heal on him, try to get him out. A nice mech from the IO, and the Grave amps healing, it still does that. We pop our ulti again, and with the Octarine core, that immediately brings the Shadow Wave back. It's a 6.6 second cooldown, and the cooldown reduction on abilities is 6 seconds. And so every time I click my Bad Juju, it basically brings the ability back. And so I can essentially Shadow Wave almost as much as I want. And with the Ags, this spell is insane. And so Batrider's just back to full health due to me and the IO. And we're ready to go again, right? This Quap Dagger that usually would be an absolute nuisance just isn't a problem. They go on my IO. Look what happens. I grave him up, refresh, get the Shadow Wave off, and that buys time for him to reload out. Pretty nuts. Gets the reload off. Same thing on my Batrider here. Usually we would all be screwed. We'd be out of health. The daggers are just too much. But it was no problem. And so that's why this greedy build is just not bad. The Octarine is just good for fighting. Like, it gives you a super high HP pool. It means that your Force Staff comes up constantly. With the Bad Juju, you can Bad Juju more. Like, literally, you can lower the cooldowns on a lower cooldown. And so it kind of like stacks on top of each other, if you see what I'm saying. And so now I buy bots, and bots are insane because with the Octarine, it's a 30-second cooldown, and every single time I click Bad Juju, it reduces item cooldowns by 5 seconds. And so I can TP to a lane and then literally TP somewhere else. You're just Tinker. Like, legit, at this point in the game, I'm Tinker. Now, in team fights, I take the cast range because I just want to sit back. I want to, play in the back and just button mash spells. You might be thinking, like, oh, you don't do any damage. Not true, because Poison Touch does 112 damage per second. It's barely a 5-second cooldown. Depends how much I'm using Bad Juju, but it's ridiculous damage. And they stack, so you can have 2 going. I can solo kill heroes just by clicking Poison Touch. And that's not even keeping in mind that I can increase the duration by hitting them a singular time. Right, as I use it on, I use it on this Mirana, she's gonna jump out and look at her health pool. She was at 600, and this shit's just taking on her. Like, look at it. Just like 200 health. It just does so much damage. And so, yeah, you're just a spellcaster, and it's so strong. You do have to get good at the button mashing. Like, people are gonna try this build, and honestly, I recommend playing like an overthrow game and like learning the button mashing first, because it is a little difficult. Like, honestly, it took me a game before I was like comfortable. The first game I didn't do well at all. But yeah, at this point, you'll notice when I TP in to save Batrider here, as I start to ulti, I immediately, if I need to, can just TP anywhere else, as my TP is just back up. So if I want to go clear top wave, it's no problem. And so split pushing is just not a thing against this Dazzle build. And yeah, in team fights, they just couldn't kill us. At this point in the game, we're too far ahead. I decided to clear the top wave because, as I was mentioning, my TP is literally always back up. As I TP in, I farm a singular camp, and my teleport scroll is back up and ready. So if I want to go join my team, I can. But I don't have to. I can continue to just farm one-shot creep waves. And now I buy a Blink Dagger, and you lower Blink cooldown, so you can just blink from camp to camp. And eventually I'll get Arcane Ring, which halves the Blink cooldown, heals me for mana and HP every time I blink. And so essentially you're just like giga healing yourself. It's like an infinite loop of healing. It's crazy stuff. And it might seem bad. It's like, oh, so much net worth. You're gonna get the net worth, right? So even though you're spending so much on like technically healing yourself so you can spam ulti, it's fine because you're using so many Shadow Waves and so many Poison Touches, like in this team fight here, right? Refresh. Another Poison Touch, like this Quap. She has 2 Poison Touches on her. Even if she blinks out, which she doesn't, but even if she blinked out, she was giga dead. Super dead. She's gonna take like 1,000 damage just from Poison Touch. That's not an over-exaggeration. And by the way, I probably should have my Shard, not gonna lie. Considering Poison Touch is a 5-second cooldown, I probably should have the thing that makes it Hex and an AoE from 1.6 seconds. Probably should have that, I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have bought it here before rushing the Arcane Blink. But yeah, in team fights, no one dies. That's the power, it's so unbelievably strong. It's another Poison Touch on the Mirana. Heal Bomb comes out, and immediately, because, we're going for the GPM records. We TP out, our Midas is up, Heal Bomb the camp, blink onto the next camp, zone out the Spectre, 2 Poison Touches on him. Did he not have Manta? Oh, he didn't. I guess I could have killed him. I thought he had Manta, so I'm like, oh, he's gonna Dispel and try to kill me, but he didn't have Manta. So he just has 2 Poison Touches, and now he's just dead. It's like, oh shit. Tinker found me in the trees. Oh wait, that's not Tinker, that's Dazzle. And now with the Arcane Blink, look at this. Look at this. You can just literally go crazy. It's so crazy. It seems fake. I blink out, it's back up. Right? Every time I click it, it's just like back up. Force Staff at our IO, grave him up, another heal, pop the ult, blink over, heal the IO, ult, heal the IO again. Force Staff forward, Poison Touch to Furion, blink out, heal the IO. Find the Quap. We're on top of her. You can't get away from Dazzle. Come on. We're playing Tinker here. Chase her down, blink on top of her, nuke her with a Poison Touch. Come over to the bot lane with her TP scroll. Run mid, nuke the mid wave, nuke the top wave. So if you're wondering how I'm top net worth, it's because you can just do this. I mean, this shit's just funny. I don't know. It's so fun, and it's like definitely legit. Like, that's what's so cool. It's like, seems like one of these meme builds people would make to get like 100K views on a video, like, you know, one of those types of videos. But it's not. It's actually just a good build. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.